still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
YNW Melly's hopes for freedom were dashed today after a judge ruled to keep him behind bars until his retrial in September. The Florida rapper, who's been incarcerated for nearly 6 years, continues to fight charges related to the 2018 murders of his former friends, WW Juvie and Sack Chaser. His family, especially his mother, had held on to the belief that his release was imminent, especially after one of the 6 charges against him was recently dropped, making the prospect of bond seem more likely. Unfortunately for Melly, today's ruling means he'll remain in jail as he prepares for his next legal battle. YNW Melly's hopes for release were briefly lifted when it was announced that one of his 6 charges was dropped, allowing him the chance for bond after 2,295 days behind bars. Despite the setback of a previous mistrial, everything seemed to be pointing toward his eventual release. But just as things started to look promising, prosecutors took a disturbing step, striking deals with key figures in his case. His ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, who had been in hiding outside the U.S. since the original trial, was supposed to testify against him but never showed up, making her a wanted fugitive. However, last week, Hamilton was arrested by U.S. Border Patrol at Miami International Airport after returning from an international flight. She was taken to Broward County Jail, facing charges and a new role in the case. Court documents reveal that the prosecution made a deal with Hamilton, testify against Melly, and she walks free. She agreed, and the news sent shockwaves through Melly's camp. In a message shared on Facebook, Hamilton expressed gratitude to her supporters, thanking them with, "God's plan, not mine." This turn of events was even more unsettling when it was revealed that disturbing evidence had been discovered in her iCloud account, evidence that connected Melly to witness tampering, allegedly pressuring Hamilton not to testify in the original trial. The new development has led to 6 additional charges against Melly, including witness tampering, conspiracy, and unlawful use of communication devices, all of which carry life sentences if he's convicted. To make matters worse, the witness tampering charges are separate from his existing murder case and involve alleged conversations Melly had with his associates while in jail, trying to influence testimonies. Melly's long-standing ban from using a phone has intensified the situation, with his mother, Jamie King, speaking out in an interview to expose the conditions at the county jail and the pressure her son has been under.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
If the allegations hold true that YNW Melly used jail phones to tamper with witnesses, he could be facing a lifetime behind bars. The authorities must have substantial proof, as it's illegal to keep an inmate from phone access without justification, meaning they likely have solid evidence to back up the claims. But the situation has only worsened for Melly. Prosecutors, not wanting a repeat of the mistrial that previously derailed their case, are now looking to bring in YNW Bortland as part of their strategy. They've submitted paperwork to have both Melly and Bortland tried together in the upcoming trial, and it's clear there's a specific reason behind this move.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but That goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found.
If YNW Bortland knows he's innocent, there's no way he's going to sit alongside YNW Melly and face life in prison without speaking up. It's highly likely that, when pushed, Bortland will point the finger at Melly and tell the truth about what really happened. What many don't realize is that Melly's legal team had already tried to turn Bortland against him during the first trial, which explains why the two haven't spoken since. The relationship between them deteriorated, especially after the truth about Bortland's involvement came to light. Cortland Henry, Bortland's real name, was seen at Memorial Hospital in Miramar, but not where you might expect. Instead, he was behind the wheel of a car with two bodies inside and the ISORD vehicle riddled with bullet holes. When he arrived, he had changed clothes and powder residue on his hands, suggesting he had just fired a weapon. He lied about the location and circumstances of the incident and even about not having a phone. In fact, as Melly's defense lawyer pointed out, Bortland was the one who had been dishonest with the authorities. He was the last person to be with Sack Chaser and Juvie before their deaths, and forensic evidence supported that suspicion. A forensic scientist testified that powder residue was found on Bortland's hands, confirming that he was involved. Bortland, understandably, didn't appreciate the accusations. He hasn't posted on social media since that trial moment, but shortly after Melly's mistrial was declared, he tweeted a cryptic message. "Mind games don't work on people like me?" accompanied by a handshake emoji, suggesting he might be playing along with some kind of deal. In light of all this, Melly's lawyers are now seeking to appeal the decision to deny him bond. They plan to represent all the evidence to the judge, with hopes of securing his release. One proposal includes a bond paid by Melly's record label, 300 Entertainment, and if granted, he would be placed on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and be guarded by 24/7 security. But Melly's team isn't stopping there. They're also pushing for an interview with his mother, in which she reveals the inhumane treatment her son is facing behind bars. This could be a game changer, as it highlights potential legal violations and could strengthen their case for bond.
Saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to.
Melly's legal team is bringing up GPS evidence from the original trial, showing Melly running down a street and hiding in a bush during the crime, suggesting he was trying to avoid gunfire. He claimed someone warned him about a car approaching, but when asked about Zach and Juvie, he said he wasn't sure where they were. This supports the idea of a drive-by, but no firearm was ever found, which prosecutors confirmed. They also have text messages from Melly's phone, sent hours after the crime, where he allegedly confessed, making it harder for Melly to secure his release. The prosecution's evidence continues to weigh heavily against him.
The part where he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
On Melly's phone, investigators uncovered a chilling video from Facebook Live that offers an unsettling glimpse into the aftermath of the tragic event. Just 6 hours after the crime, Melly and YW Bortland can be seen in a parking lot, laughing, and displaying an unnerving sense of calmness. Despite the fact that two of their closest friends, Sack Chaser and Juvie, had just lost their lives, the duo's behavior is strikingly unbothered. There's no sign of grief, no tears, or even a hint of remorse. Instead, they seem almost nonchalant, casually laughing and joking, as if nothing of significant importance had just occurred. This lack of visible emotional response has only fueled suspicions about Melly's potential involvement in the crime, with many questioning his true role in the tragic events. However, the plot thickens as new revelations emerge from a former YW crew member. This insider claims that the motive behind Melly's alleged actions may have been financial in nature. According to this source, Melly was unwilling to share the earnings from YW's music, merchandise, and concerts with the other members of the crew, including Sack Chaser and Juvie. The former members of YW reportedly believed that the profits should be split evenly, but Melly had a different vision. He didn't want to divide the money equally and saw the distribution as a threat to his own financial future. This claim of financial greed adds a new layer to the already complex case and suggests that Melly may have taken drastic, violent steps to ensure that the other members would no longer have a claim to the profits. As the investigation continues, these details make the situation even more convoluted, raising serious questions about Melly's true intentions and the motives behind the crime.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar, and you don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland.
Melly had shared a secret with King Von that was supposed to remain private. However, after Von's passing, the details leaked to members of the O-Black crew. These insiders revealed that YNW was more than just a group. It was a business. Through YNW, Melly released music, performed concerts, and sold merchandise, with all the profits funneled into a business account. However, Chaser and Juvie, being part of the group, felt entitled to their share of the earnings, expecting the money to be split evenly. Melly, however, wasn't interested in that. The situation soon took a turn when fans started questioning how Melly could afford his legal representation, especially when it was reported that his mother had started a fan account while Melly was still in the midst of his trial. The internet went wild, with DJ Academics expressing his confusion about why Melly's mom was promoting herself during such a critical time. He remarked that some mothers in hip-hop might thrive on their children's fame, but it seemed strange to him that she was doing this while her son fought for his life. While academics dismissed the idea of it being a money grab, social media had a different opinion. In a 2021 interview, Melly's mother laughed when asked how much money her son had spent on his legal defense, while Bame, Melly's brother, criticized his sibling for his questionable spending habits. Beam pointed out that Melly had bought expensive cars and jewelry when he wasn't even out to wear them, suggesting that his priorities were off. He acknowledged that money could have been better spent on legal fees instead. The situation painted a picture of poor financial choices and an underlying sense of misplaced priorities. Melly had the resources to pay for his lawyers, but it seemed he had indulged in flashy purchases that distracted from his looming legal troubles. Meanwhile, his mother's actions left fans wondering about her true motivations.